Hey y'all, Sherry G. So, Kiki didn't show for the introduction of baby Ace. Tisha, being Tisha, stated that she's always a no show. But that aside, we come to find out anyway that Kiki was actually sick. But y'all, my initial thoughts were she wasn't there because she didn't want to deal with all of the questions, attitudes from Tisha and Tiffany, nor any underhanded or snide remarks from Kimmy regarding that whole Home Depot ordeal. Later on in the episode, though, Kiki and her husband, they're having a conversation where they actually discuss her sobriety. I was actually glad to see Kiki and her husband in this space, and I personally would like to see more of them. The conversation was candid, and it was a good conversation where he expressed his concerns, and I understand where he's coming from. So before I get into the commentary, let me go ahead and run my disclaimer. Then I'll run some audio from that scene and come right back with my commentary. In the meantime, in between time, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Hang tight, I'll be right back.
I get frustrated because you don't listen when I try to coach you along to say, hey, it's not good. All right, try this. Try this. No, don't chew all this doggone gum. Whatever the case may be. So that's what frustrates me afterwards.
But again, we don't know if that's the reason why I'm sick. The doctors, that's why they're there to determine what it is that's making me sick. I would never, number one, let me say this. This sickness, this is probably as sick as I've ever felt my entire life. Again, for me, I hate going to the hospital, but I'm pain. Like, my back is killing me. It's like the pain is in, like, my shoulders, my joints. And I have no idea where this pain is coming from. And as the pain intensifies, it makes my stomach upset, and I can't keep anything on my stomach at all. Okay. And to the point where I'm just choking because there's nothing left. And this is the worst feeling ever. I've never been sick like this.
All right, so look, case in point. So
I don't know what this is.
When you go to the hospital, all right, you can blame it on the medicine that they had you on or whatnot, but you told the doctors you ready to go. So I go tell the doc, like, look, y'all not letting her go home. I was like, no, we need to find out what's going on. She came the other night, y'all sent her home. All right, with no answer. Y'all are puzzled. So I'm questioning, y'all's accreditation as doctors at this point.
Because they were ticking me off. I kept asking them for stuff. And they were moving super slow when I'm telling these people, look, I'm really in pain. I'm feeling really sick. Like, please help me. I'm literally begging these people, help me. Look, I'm nauseous. This medicine y'all gave me is not working. Y'all see, I keep throwing everything up. Give me something stronger. And then they take hours to do, and I'm like, y'all, come on. I'm sick.
You asking them to let you go, and I'm like, we haven't got no idea what's going on. So I asked the doctor, like, look, we don't know. Everything looks good. All the vitals are good. I'm like, that's not going to cut it. You got to give me a better answer than that.
Right, there's something going on.
So I asked the doctor, I said, well, look, can y'all keep her overnight to look at her? Well, she said she's ready to go. I said, doctor.
That's because they were frustrated.
She's on, what was that medicine they had you on?
I don't think
that they put in your IV thing. It was something to cause,
Oh, see, I mean, that was the second time.
Oh.
Yeah.
Word.
That's right.
But anyway, you need to do more listening than talking.
So, y'all, when I first saw Kiki in this scene, I have to honestly say I was a bit taken back by her appearance. I mean, her demeanor even seemed off to me. It reminded me of the scene when Melody stopped by to check on her, In that scene, she seemed stressed and under some type of pressure. And when she and Mel did that scene together, I thought it could have been a lot going on before the cameras arrived that caused her to be a bit off. And I even did some commentary about that scene. But here we are. This is the second scene, and again, she looks like she's going through it. I can only imagine how stressful dealing with your real life drama and having it played out on TV can be. Not only does it affect her, it affects her husband, her children, and all who really care and love her. You know, her mom, everybody. And except Tisha and Marcel, right? I mean, they're the ones who actually brought her situation to surface and in a mean and vindictive way, in my opinion. I understand Keke's husband, though, and I feel his concerns are valid. Methadone, it's a controlled substance that's used to help subdue the cravings of those addicted to opioids. The patient has to report into a clinic daily to have the substance administered, so it's not like she has access to it, every single day. But the whole objective of the medication is to help the person that's suffering with the addiction to get weaned off of the drugs, right? Or to subdue their desire for drugs, and then eventually to become weaned off of the methadone itself, and that's done gradually over time. What's concerning is Keke's unexplained illnesses, so which call for some type of pain medication. On the other hand, given everything that has taken place on the show and out here in this cyber world as it pertains to Keke, those symptoms could all be stress related too. So, I was thinking that maybe reality TV, as much as I like Keke and I'm rooting for her, trust me, maybe reality TV at this particular point in time in her life just isn't a good fit, if that's the case. That whole back and forth to the hospital, asking them to please give me something. And as much as I try not to read into anything, and I know that everyone reacts and responds to all things differently, just myself watching a family member with this same struggle, it does give me a little concern for her. So again, like I said, I was caught off guard. But anyway, when her husband asked about the meds they put in her IV, she didn't seem to know what he was talking about at first. And then she said, oh, that was the second time. And she seemed to have mellowed out, like it wasn't something she really wanted to talk about. Now, this is me. Y'all can just go back and listen to the audio again to hear what I'm talking about. It's like her whole energy changed and she got kind of calm about it. But I'm like, the second time. So how many times has she gone to the hospital? Again, y'all, I'm really rooting for Keke. Seriously, I'm glad that Keke's husband is real with her. I'm glad that he's her voice of reason, because I know it's a lot to deal with, like I said, not just for the person struggling, but for all of those who love you, who are close to you. This scene, in my opinion, says a lot about him and his love for his wife. In my opinion, I can honestly say that he has her back and he's real with her. And that's the one thing that I really, really, really appreciate, is that he is real with her. Because y'all, I mean, reality TV is not for the weak. And to have a situation like this and have it exploited all over television, in such an ugly way, how we all found out about it in the beginning, and then her coming to her defense and telling us that this was a past struggle, and then that whole Home Depot debacle on top of it. It has to be pretty humiliating. And I know that, she claims to be such a strong person, but even strong people, there's only so much that we can deal with. I claim to be a strong person too, but there's only so much you can deal with, and we may handle things a little different, but there are some things sometimes when it's just so much that it does bother you. You may not show it, but in my opinion, Keke is doing that. She's showing it. But y'all, I'm praying for Keke to push through and to be able to stand on top of her struggles, crushing every obstacle, crushing all of it, and pushing through this in a big way. Hopefully and prayerfully, what she's experiencing in her body is just relative to stress, more so than her fighting for wanting that drug, the craving for those medications. But anyway, y'all, that's all I have in today's video. I will be back. In the meantime, in between time, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Until later, ciao.